Hello Virgo, and welcome to your May 2019 reading. This is Jade with Yes, Yes, Yes. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you have visited me before, welcome back. We are going to do the general read, and I usually start those because I had the yearly overall, so we start with what was drawn from the yearly, and then I'll do a past, present, future spread with the Rider-Waite this time. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. If you like the reading, give me that thumbs up. It helps the channel out so much. And if you're interested in a personal reading, my website information is also in the box below. So let's get started. This is going to be for Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Virgos. And your monthly, we start with the Two of Cups. Now, are you in love? Is this a new love? Is there love around you at all? There's something about being able to look at yourself in the mirror or in the eyes of someone else. So if it is a love relationship that's blooming and blossoming, it's definitely coming to a head here for you in May, where you're actually maybe really seeing the depth and the significance of what that relationship or that connection truly is. And if it's not something that you have in your life right now, it could mean that you're just getting very, very clear on what it is that you truly want, how you want to, what you want to bring in, that type of person you want to bring in into your life. Now it's clarified in the Lenormand deck by the Tower. And the Tower in the Lenormand deck is different than in the tarot. So don't freak out. There's nothing, it's not about that. The Tower is about organizations, higher organizations, larger organizations like government, institutions. So that would be, colleges, hospitals. And there's also this sense of isolation, like you're drawing yourself away. So there's a couple different ways to look at this. One is, if this is a new love, you may be actually so enjoying your company together that you've drawn yourself away and you've kind of escaped from the world. Like you're not even open to seeing other people. You guys just want to be in bed all day. That's pretty much that kind of energy. The other thing is that it could mean that you might be feeling isolated because of a relationship. Okay, so if you are in relationship, just kind of feel through which, what applies. And if you're not in relationship, what this could be telling you is that when you open yourself up to larger institutions, so you might be meeting a person at, if you are, if you attend an event, a large event, or if you're at school, if you're in university, you might meet someone there. Or even like things like Amazon. I know it's weird, but it's a larger organization. So if there's something that's connected to that, it might bring in a person. Very strange, I know. Okay, now for your yearly, we have this Circle card. This comes from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. This card is your yearly energy, and what that means is that you are in flow. You are remembering how much you are connected, and you're getting reminded of this. So, it may not be daily, but that's really what your journey is this year is about, remembering and reminding yourself of the interconnectedness that you feel, that life is a circle, and that, especially if you're feeling down, it's going to pass, and that you will get to a place of joy again. So you're seeing the circle of life this year. And you may be ups and downs. There might be some ups and downs, absolutely. All right, so let's get into what's really going on specifically for this month for Virgo. The cards have been pre-shuffled, but I like to shuffle them a little bit more while I'm talking to you. I also forgot to tell you I have a head cold, so I may be a little nasally while I'm speaking to you. Okay, so for the past, we have very interesting cards here. So we've got the Six of Wands. This is, victory. This is success. This is feeling like you have made it, that you have survived. But what have you survived, Virgo? And we have the Six of Cups. Now it came out in the reverse. So you might have had a long-term relationship, a relationship or connection to your childhood that that didn't quite work its way out. It could have been perhaps a reconciliation that came through and then ended because it wasn't right. The other thing is just that you might be feeling good because, and this is in the past, you might have been feeling good because, or successful because you shut that down and because you knew it wasn't right, or that you've moved on from feeling like being stuck in your childlike, what would I say? It's like not looking at things from an adult perspective, from a mature perspective. And so you might be feeling better knowing that you've kind of matured in the past, that you've started to really engage in relationships in a more mature way and not necessarily in a child or naive way, okay? The other thing we have in the past here is the Sun card, but it also came out in reverse. That is, again, Leo energy, childlike energy. So I'm feeling like in the past, Virgo, that you've had a big step forward in terms of maturity. And this, right now we're talking about relationship because that's what's up this month. But it could be the way in which you are engaging in the world, and that you're feeling more mature. You're taking risks that are leading you towards legacy, and not just keeping you in this living just for day to day. Okay, I think that you're really laying things out and looking for long term. A lot of people are, and so you're not alone, which is great. This is very specific for some Virgos because I know that Virgos generally are very particular, and it seems like you plan quite a bit. But I think perhaps what you're looking for is you're planning in a different way now because you have changed, you've matured, you've grown into yourself a little bit. Let's see what else comes up, because that's a really interesting beginning line. Now I want to see what's happening for you at present, Virgo. In May 2019, what is going on for Virgo? Okay. All right, so we've got, and this card's wanting to come out, so I'll let that in there. Okay, so we've got Eight of Cups. It came out in the reverse, so we're not moving forward into something else. So what I'm feeling here is that there's, that you might have the potential for starting something new. There is the King of Pentacles energy here, so this could be you, but it also could be another Virgo or another Capricorn or a Taurus. But if this, and I'm feeling like this is your energy here, is that you don't want to change any situation. You don't want to change your emotional connection. So if you are in relationship right now and it's feeling a little strained, maybe because of your change, right? Your change in maturity in the past, you're not wanting to let go of it. I think you're really wanting to work through it. You're wanting to be this king. And the King of Pentacles, he can be very stubborn, okay? So if this is your energy here, just realize that it's not just your story, other people are involved here too. So do be open to what their needs and desires are in this relationship, in this situation, whatever it might be. And no matter whatever the amount of maturity that you have been going through, the ultimate test of maturity is to hold space and compassion for others, right? So I'm feeling like there's a little bit of a strain right now that's happening between you and someone else, and it specifically could be children, because we talked about that. And maybe, the maturity that you stepped forward with in the past was because children were requiring you to do so. So maybe these are children of your own or children of your partner, possibly. We also have the Nine of Pentacles, and it came out in the reverse. So you are definitely wanting to feel into this relationship, feel into a relationship if it's not here yet. And you want to draw it into you. You don't want to run away. I think that you're really, what was I going to say, sewing or knitting, I don't know why, but knitting this life for yourself. And I feel like it has to do with, strong foundation for family and children. And it's very much a mature attitude that you're taking. You're stepping forward in this King of Pentacles right in the center here. and really stating that this is the way in which you want your life to be from this point forward. You're not playing any games. There's no reason to be childlike or childish or immature or naive. You're really wanting to step forward. I think this is beautiful energy. It's coming out in a very abrupt way, a pushy way. So I don't know if you feel like you're being pushed to stand your ground, to say where you're coming from, because it's not the way in which the cards, you're telling the story here through the cards, but the cards are pushing the information, right? They're not allowing it to come forward. It's just a different way something that I'm feeling right now. So we also have the Nine of Swords that came out in the reverse. This is your like staying up late, going over and over things in your head. So, we've got a couple of things going on. This is not happening for you anymore. You're letting that go, which is great. I feel that there's a deep change that Virgos, you have gone through here to step forward into your more true nature and a more mature nature. You really want to embrace your kingliness, your royal nature, holding and creating a solid and stable foundation, offering this to others. The other thing about the Pentacle, the King of Pentacles, is that, this is food, clothing, shelter, health, well-being, and money. So it's all of those really earthly elements, and that's what you're wanting to bring forward. So this could be, that you are in a new venture, a new partnership venture and work, and that you're really wanting to make it work. You really want to take it to the next level. Same thing could happen with a relationship in partnership and intimacy. And again, this is that maturity, and perhaps there are children involved. But whatever it is, in the past you might have been really worked up about how are you going to make these changes, but I think you have figured it out because you're not worked up about it at night anymore. You might be sleeping really soundly for the first time in a while, which is lovely for you. Let's see what this turns into for Virgo in the future. For Virgo, what's coming up for Virgo? You got sticky cards today. Ooh, okay. All right. So we start with the Four of Swords in the upright. So again, taking a rest, reflection, looking through what's all of this changed, right? You've made massive change here in the past. It's probably been energetically draining. And because you're also putting yourself out there in relationship, it's becoming something where you're holding space and you're holding the energy for another. So now you've doubled the energy required. Now in the future, we did have the Two of Cups that came out in the reverse. So we have some challenges here in this partnership that it looks like that's coming up. And the Hierophant also came up in the reverse. And it's because it's being challenged and the traditions of it are being challenged. Perhaps there's some Taurus involved as well. I feel like Taurus might have had the Two of Cups this month too. So there might be, a connection between you and a Taurus, or maybe you guys are going through similar circumstances. But in the future here, there seems to be some kind of upheaval, okay? Now, if you take your time, remove yourself from the situation, that could cause the upheaval, okay? Remember, right here in the present, you're really wanting to dig in and create it into a relationship, into a business partnership, something that will stand the test of time. But in the future here, something's taken a turn. And it's, the relationship seems to be in trouble or in disarray. And there's also this issue of tradition and foundation about relationship. And this could also be going back to that Tower energy. This could be a larger organization, okay? So what it could mean is that maybe you're having to deal with, we're talking about government issues. So maybe there's some tax issue that pops back up. Maybe there is, licensing issues. Something very structured can come forward that might need to be dealt with, in the future. And that might throw off this relationship just a bit. it could also mean, and this might be very, very specific for a few of you, is that if your person is from another country and you are looking into getting married, and then the whole green card thing, you know, you have a number of years before that actually takes. So there's some kind of imbalance, or maybe you already have had that where you've married and you're waiting for the green card to come through and things are shifting, but they're not quite settling. There's an imbalance here in a larger sense in this greater institution. So that could be very specifically what we're talking about. Now I'm curious about this. I want to find out a little bit more about what's going on here in the future with this Two of Cups and the Hierophant in the reverse. Ace of Wands also in the reverse. Not having the passion or the action involved to take it to the next place. Okay. Knight of Cups in the upright, and then we have the Five of Cups in the reverse. So let me show you both. I'll show you all of these. Okay. But I flipped them, so hold on, let me get them flipped properly. Okay, so that I don't forget. So here's what came out. We've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse, the Knight of Cups in the upright, and then the Five of Cups in the reverse. So it's an interesting back and forth story is what I'm seeing here, okay? So the passion might be dying out a bit in this relationship. That could be why. It could mean that you've pulled yourself back because you're in that Four of Swords energy. You've pulled yourself back to kind of reflect, and the passion is dying out. So just be aware that any step away that you take, even if it is, you know, to check yourself, you know, everybody has the right to do that, but just make sure that you're also being communicative with your partner, business partner, intimate partner, whatever, because otherwise they're going to be left behind, not really understanding why is there distance all of a sudden, okay? So that's, you know, the Four of Swords is going within reflection, but it's a sword, so it's still, the need for communication is still there. So there's this passion that just can't get going, or this new project that can't get going, some kind of action that needs to move forward that isn't moving forward. Even though the Knight of Cups is here, there's love here, and I'm feeling like this is coming in for you. So this might be, you know, your energy could mean that you are, you know, you're pulling yourself back. It's interesting because you've gone through already this great change where you've stepped into your maturity, but now you might be ricocheting back and you're kind of overcorrecting a bit by really wondering if you made the right choice. And if, you know, if this was the partnership that you really wanted or thought it was, if, you know, if there are children involved, if it's really smart or intelligent to move forward, you're going through some type of reflection coming up in the future. Even though everything was looking pretty good here, there's still love here. It's being offered to you and you are wanting to offer it to another. But I'm feeling like this Five of Cups, which is the disappointment, right? It's loss, it's sorrow. I think that you went to instead of, you know, you've gone to the mature place and now you've gone back to maybe like a victimization mentality where you're looking at things and just seeing that perhaps it's not all that you wanted it to be. And it might be a little sad, a little disappointing because of that. Now, can you change that? Absolutely. Where this is coming from, I think that this is a passing period. And even though this is in your future, I think that there's so much underneath it that was built that seemed to be strong, that this is just something that's kind of, it's not a huge earthquake. It's not a tower moment. There's no tower. There's no, you know, the negative cards aren't here. It's just that the positive ones are in reverse, okay? So you have great cards here. I always look at it as if it's on the table, you have the potential for turning it. So you have the potential for marriage here, right? The Two of Cups is right next to the Hierophant. For long-term, lasting, traditionally, and that could be what's going on, is that maybe you're wondering if tradition is for you, if you really are suited for marriage, or, you know, the 2.5 children and dogs and house and the car and all of that. So this could be you reflecting on, you know, if this is really what you want, because you've manifested it. You thought that's what you wanted. And so now the question is this truly what you want? And if it's not an intimate partnership, it would be a business partnership. And is this truly what you want? Is this the business that you can get behind and put your name on and move forward from? So I think that you've stepped forward, you know, you've done like a huge change, and now you're just ricocheting back. So it's this time of course correction where you eventually get to that balance place in the middle. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Knight of Swords. So here's that truth that has to come through. So once you figure it out, once you take your time, of course, do let your partner, whoever they, you know, intimate or business, let them know not to worry, not to freak out, but that you're reflecting, right? You're just taking your time. And that when you're, you know, once you have that time alone to reflect, you'll come back out with your truth. And that's all. I think it's just necessary to tell them so that everything doesn't shift. Things don't, there's no resentment that gets built up. There's no worry that happens beyond it, because it's just, you know, putting it on pause, put it on hold while you're reflecting about what you truly want. And the question is, what do you truly want, Virgo? Because you can have it all. It's all here. It's just that it's you questioning if that's what you really want. So this is your month to decide, what do you really want? You could have marriage, you can have a new, and this would be a structured partnership if this is business, because you're going, you know, you would be signing the dotted line, you know, be signing the business, the LLC or whatever it is, the corporation together. So if you are just rethinking it all, you have the right to do so. Give yourself the period of time that you need to make sure that you're being honest and open with your partner, saying what your needs are in terms of pulling away, and that you will come back and share what your, you know, what amazing truths have come forward. And that more than likely will be in June. So this is what I have for you, Virgo. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comment section below. And for now, I'll send you all my love. See you guys soon.